Right, so I can see Mr. Shirimani has joined. I hope he has a good network. I can see that his audio is playing some trick. Mr. Shirimani, welcome. So it looks like his network is not that good. Yes, Mr. Shirimani, welcome.
Yes, Doc.
Thanks. That's wonderful. So hopefully the rest of the group will be able to join. So now, today what we want to do, because you had an assignment, a case study that I gave you. So I'm going to share the case study. Let me open it. And then, where is my case study? Where is my case study? Sorry, let me just open the case study so that we can start working on. So hope that you guys have you actually managed to do the assignment, because this is where most of the task is. They didn't actually send it. This week. Case study. What's the name of the last week? Oh, case study one. Case study one. Right. So, colleagues, can you see my screen?
Yes, can see.
Good. So this is the case study that you were given. So I will go through the case study, and then after I go through the case study, I'll then request you to make presentations of how you tackle this case study. It's very important. Then later on after that, I'll present to you what I think is the model answer, and then we interrogate the model answer. If I find that your solutions are very close to the model answer, it might not be necessary for me to actually present the model answer to you. But however, later on, I'll also share with you the standard or the recommended programs and the activities and sub-programs, then we also interrogate them so that at the end of the lecture, we have a practical perspective to how we come up with a program. And before we actually put the numbers, I'm sure next week, Dr. Marufu will be putting up the numbers to the budget, to the programs that we will have come up with. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so unless there's someone who wants to read, please, someone can read. Can someone read? Since I'm going to be talking a lot, so let me allow somebody to read.
Okay, let me read. Hello?
Proceed, Mr. Shirimani.
All right. Certificate in Municipality Finance and Administration assignment, Dr. T. Famba, a case study, translating legislative mandates into programs for program-based budgeting. You are the budget officer for Chikomo Rural District Council, established under the Rural District Councils Act, Chapter 29.13, Oroma Council, established under the Urban Councils Act, Chapter 29.15. The council is transitioning from line item budgeting to program-based budgeting, BB, as required by national public finance reforms. The PBB process requires that all programs and sub-programs be directly linked to the statutory mandate of the council. This means starting with the functions prescribed in the relevant act, identifying the activities that implement those functions, and grouping them into programs that can be budgeted for, monitored, and evaluated. The acts set out several mandatory and permissive functions for councils, ranging from service delivery, infrastructure development, environmental management, economic promotion, to social welfare and recreation. However, it is your task to study the relevant acts yourself to, 1, identify the statutory functions applicable to your council, 2, break down each function into activities the council would normally undertake, 3, group the activities into programs that align with PBB requirements. Required, 1, function identification 10 marks from either the Urban Councils Act or the Rural District Councils Act. Extract and list all statutory functions of your chosen council that you have budgetary implications for each function to 5 key activities that would realistically be carried out to implement that function. Question 3, program formulation 10 marks. Group related activities into programs for budgeting purposes. Provide a clear program title and briefly describe the scope of each program. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Shiriman, let me just slide down, sorry.
Hello?
Yes, proceed.
Okay, question 4. Budget information needs 8 marks. For each program, state the types of data and information needed to prepare a complete program budget e.g. asset inventories, service standards, population saved, unit costs, human resources needs, funding sources. Question 5, key performance indicators, 6 marks. Suggest at least 2 measurable key indicators for each program that would allow tracking of performance during implementation. 6, legislative alignment justification, 6 marks. Briefly explain how linking programs to statutory functions strengthens legal compliance, transparency, and accountability in council budgeting. Total of 50 marks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Firimani. So now what we want to do, our strategy would be, let's have one person answer a part on how you tackled that part, and then others will comment with respect to that part. We discuss, then we proceed. A different person presents the next part. We continue like that, and we try to correct each other. So the critical part of this is not just to know or to approximate, but we want somebody who really knows where they are extracting the relevant function from in the respective act. So who wants to start? Because the first one is function identification. That is the first task. And I think this one, if you went through the relevant act, it should be a very easy task. Then you can refer to us, to the respective act.
Okay, Doc. Let me.
Okay, Mr. Katerere would want to send this one. Can you please be close to your mic so that we can hear you loud?
All right, Doc.
Thank you.
So on function identification, the functions of a rural district council, I use the Rural District Councils Act. So the first function is to establish and maintain infrastructure, that is roads, clinics, schools, etc. I extracted that from section 71 of the Rural District Councils Act. Then the other function is to provide water, sewerage, and refuse services. Also, it is from section 71. Then there's also control development.
Sorry, Mr. Katerere.
Yes, Doc.
Point number 1, roads, infrastructure, and infrastructure is section 71. What the subsection and subsection?
Hello, you say?
Can you refer to this actual specific, because you are just giving us section, but you are not giving us the subsection, because it might not be everyone who might have an idea of this. Can you refer to this section and subsection?
Okay.
Did you do that? Maybe if you didn't do that, then it's okay. We can then reference the subsections.
I didn't do the subsections.
So you can proceed the way you did it, then we can iron it out a bit later.
Okay. So the third function, control development and land use planning, from section 71. Then the other function is to make bylaws for the good governance of the area, from section 90. Then the other function is to levy rates and taxes to fund council operations, from section 95. Then the other function is to promote local economic development and welfare, from section 71. Then the other function is to administer communal and resettlement land from Section 151 via the Communal Land Act. Then the other function is to establish and manage public amenities, for example, libraries, community halls, etc. It is also from Section 71. Then the other function is to issue licenses for businesses and regulate trading activities. It is also from Section 71. Then facilitate education and healthy services from Section 71. That is the function I picked from the Rural District Councils Act.
Okay, thank you very much for your effort, Mr. Katerina. I think you did your best, but let's get feedback from colleagues.
Okay, sir.
Colleagues, from the presentation.
Yes, Doc.
We want feedback from the presentation. Let's have comments. How accurate? Where do you think he did something? Wasn't there a mix of activities and functions? What do you think? Hello?
Okay, Doc. On the issue of
yes, proceed.
On the issue of council functions, enshrined in RDC Act Section 71, it further goes. Oh, let me read the section. Then it then refers all the functions or most of the functions to be obtained from the first schedule of the RDC Act. I'm going to read the section. Section 71, which reads as follows: a council shall have power to undertake or carry out any or all of the matters and things set out in the first schedule, subject to this act and any other law and any law to the contrary. Subsection 2 in addition to any powers that are provided for by this act or any other law, or as an extension of any such power, a council may be authorized by the minister to do or carry out any act or thing which, in his opinion, is A, incidental to the exercise of the council's powers, or B, necessary or desirable in the interest of all or some of the inhabitants of the area. Then from there, we can refer to the first schedule of the RDC Act, which lists the majority of the functions, which Mr. Katerere has highlighted, which are itemized from number 1 up to number 64 in that first schedule. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I tell you that I'm so happy that it appears that people did their homework, because the idea is that this course does not mean that people have never come across the RDC Act, neither do they know anything to do with the program-based budgeting, but to be practical, to actually extract so that when you present to senior management, you actually know where the powers for the budget are being derived from. So I hope that you are getting something new as we keep on interacting. So now, the way I would prefer that when you are given this task, for example, let me give you an example of how you would present this. You are going to identify, for instance, number one, roads and infrastructure, which is provision, maintenance, and regulation of roads and works. Section 71, subsection 1.a. I think that's the one, isn't it? Mr. Shirmani, you're looking at are you at the schedule? Hello? Are we still together, guys?
Hello, Doc.
Yes,
okay,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Yes, I was asking because I'm not opening the RDC Act, so I was just confirming that roads and infrastructure is section 71, subsection 1A.
Okay, it's section 71, first schedule.
Yes.
Item number 20.
It's item number 20.
Yes, roads,
Hello?
bridges, dams, etc.
Okay, that's fine. So what you would do then, if you are given a case study, for example, for examination purposes, or also you are actually in the act of trying to come up with your programs, because remember, you may actually move from council to other MDAs. So whether you are going to come to, for example, Bindura University, and you want to assist, you would know that Bindura University derives its powers from its Bindura University Act. If you go to a ministry, it also derives their power from their own act, which caused its action. So how will you come up with programs, or how will you smoothen or reallocate the activity or whatever to a different program? You need to know that we are extracting from, for example, the first schedule, section 71, subsection whatever subsection. So this must be specified, especially if you are doing a homework. I know in examinations, you may not need to mention the subsections because that will be too much to ask from you. But if you are able to identify these things, then we know you can actually actively and practically do them in your workplace. So I think that was fair enough and good presentations from both of you. Mr. Chambuka, what's your take on this one?
Yes,
is it clear to you? Did you do it, and
yes.
how did you do it? How is yours different from what Mr. Katerina and Mr. Shirimani have said?
Yes, I've also I just want to add on from the list that have been given. I've mentioned the financial reporting and accountability, budget planning and management, performance measurement, policy making, environmental management, service delivery, resource allocation.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for the additions. Actually, I also had the environmental management. I don't know whether it had not been mentioned. Maybe I don't know whether it's because you were overwhelmed, because it's a big exercise coming up with programs. Just hold on. So maybe it's because you were overwhelmed, so you were just giving maybe part of the exercise. But nevertheless, it shows that we are actually together and you guys are following. Now let's go to the next step. Mr. Shate, sorry, I'd forgotten that you are also in there. Let me checking who is in and who is. I also need to keep checking. Let me do something here. Mr. Shate, I've made you co-host, so please, can you check also people who are joining? I've just seen that Violet was in the waiting room.
Okay, thank you, Doc. You're welcome.
Right. Can we discuss what's your view? What's your comment? Did you do the assignment? Hello? It appears he's not hearing us, and I think I can also not hear him. Welcome, Violet. Violet, can you hear me? Okay, let's proceed to the next section. Guys, activity mapping. Activity mapping. Who is going to first present activity mapping? Hello? Guys, can you hear me?
Hello,
Yes,
Doc.
we can hear you.
Yes, so
Yes, we
Mr.
can hear
Katerina
you.
presented section 1. So can we have maybe Mr. Champuka? You want to present on activity?
Okay, so the breakdown of functions into activities the council normally undertake. So on policy making, reviewing and evaluating policies, developing policies, allocating resources. Then on financial management, budget preparation, financial reporting, account management, auditing and compliance. Then on service delivery, providing essential services, managing service contracts, monitoring service performance. On budget planning and management, preparing budget plans, allocating budget resources, monitoring budget performance. On financial reporting and accountability, preparing financial reports, providing financial information, ensuring transparency and accountability. Then economic development, tourism and economic growth, markets and trading. Yeah, that's the food that I've mentioned.
Okay. Right. I don't want to comment now. I think let me allow colleagues to comment. I've just made an observation. I will say it after colleagues have commented. Violet, how are you? Please welcome. You can unmute and talk to us. Violet, mkutinzwa ere? Mute and okay, let's proceed, guys. Let's proceed. Comments?
Okay, Doc. On the breakdown of functions, I noticed that on question number 2, it mainly lies on what you have presented on question 1. So
yes, true. That's a correct observation. Because I see Mr. Katerere is focusing more on one major program, which is governance and admin. I think that's where he's focusing more on. Am I right, Mr. Chambuga?
Yes, you are right. You are right.
Okay, thanks. What I would then ask you to do, I'm not sure if you managed to do the other functions, because if for example, if these things are going to be examined, you may be required to just show us your competence on other programs. So we would want you to look at functions that relate to other programs also. So maybe let's have comments from Mr. Katerere. Maybe let's have Mr. Shirimani. General comment.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc. Your observation on Mr. Chambuka, yeah, is okay. I think as he concludes his assignment, panozongoda a broader look into other programs, especially going back to section 71 of the RDC Act, kana vari answer in relation to the RDC Act. Vachibva pasection 71 iri kubva yanova director first schedule. So first schedule iri broad in terms of functions council anenge ari achita fall under the different functions and the different programs dzinenge dziri within a council. Saka kana takatarisa that schedule iyoyo, to answer mamwe questions anozotevera ari kuzoda kuita come up with programs, unenge uchikwanisa kuzenge uchiwana all the items kana kuti the majority of the items dzinopinda programs, unlike ikawa one faceted isina kuzotarisa other programs, unenge limited in terms of answering questions anozotevera kumberi. I think that's my contribution, because when I answered this question, say observation yamboitwa na Mr. Katerere, yekuti second question is depending on how you have tackled the first question. Saka functions that identify per first question ndo atakunoita come up nema activities awo. So kana takatarisa the first question, from my side I mainly measured on section 71 tichienda pa first schedule pandani chitaura kuti pane 64 functions. So those 64 functions kana tiri pa first schedule ipapo dzinenge dzichizotsanangurwa activities acho anenge achiitwa pa each and every function. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is amazing. I'm happy that, you know, when you are teaching these continuous development programs, we have got people who sometimes don't even do the work. They relax, they just think that the certificates come and they come on a silver platter. I'm happy that you guys are taking it so serious, which is the core of this thing, because you must be on top of the rest of the people in the organization in terms of the skills of administration and finance. So one thing that I want to encourage you guys is that if you are very sure now about the RDC Act, can you also go and do the same exercise with the Urban Councils Act? The advantage in doing that, I know most of you are, today you are in the RDC, but tomorrow you want to be promoted to an urban council. And the critical thing is your ability to interpret the law and also use the law to actually craft the finances of council will come at handy even when you are going to present yourself for an interview. So please, let's make sure that if we dwelt on Rural District Councils Act, let's also go and do the same for the Urban Councils Act. Are we together on that aspect?
Yeah,
Yes, Doc.
Yes, yes.
Right.
we are together.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Right. So, Mr. Hey, Violet, for the first time I hear your voice.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Okay, thank you.
Did you do the assignment?
I'm fine, and you?
Did you do the assignment?
Yes.
Great. So,
Yes.
can you briefly tell us what you found under activities? Just give us, for example, two functions that you had and their activities.
Okay. I've got, let me illustrate on
Violet? Hello? Shame. Your network is not good, Violet. Hello? Guys, so you see the network challenge is serious for Violet.
Yeah, we can hardly hear.
Yeah, so unfortunately she cannot hear us also. We would have asked her to.
Which includes activities like
Shame. She has been booted out. All right. So let's continue, guys. She'll join, and I think she'll get the videos so that she can also relate with what she has. So let's go to the next segment, which is program formulation. Program formulation. Who hasn't started? Mr. Shiriman. Yeah, they want to start now on that one.
Okay, Doc. That's question 3.
Yes.
All right, let me get there. Just a minute. All right,
Okay.
the question reads, group related activities into programs for budgeting purposes. Provide a clear program title and briefly describe the scope of each program. So my solution reads as follows. A budget program is a group of independent but closely related functions of the MDA designed to achieve its mandate. These functions should all contribute to a common program strategic objective. My case study is based on the Chikomoro District Council, which has 6 programs, which are outlined as follows. The first program, which I identified as program 1, is governance and administration with an outcome which reads as follows: improved corporate governance and administration. In terms of the activities under it, we have the grants to other local authorities. That is to make grants to other local authorities. Then the next activity is under employment bureaus. To provide and operate employment bureaus. Then we have publicity, to advertise and give publicity to the amenities, attractions, and advantages of the council area. Then we have allowances for councillors and members of committees. All these are activities and functions which are under governance, emanated from Section 71, first schedule. So we have allowances for councillors and members of committees, subject to paragraph 2 with the approval of the minister and in accordance with any resolution of the council, to pay to the councillors and to members of any committee a monthly personal allowance at a rate fixed by the council, not exceeding such sum as may be prescribed. Then we have acting allowance, the activity with the approval of the minister to pay a councillor or any person who acts for the chief executive officer or any other officer or employee of the council during his absence, inability, or refusal to perform his duties. Such acting allowance as the council may in its discretion decide, not exceeding such sum as may be prescribed in the regulations. Under governance, once again, we have traveling and traveling expenses. Subsection 1 actually notice subject to paragraph 3 to pay the councillors, officers, or employees of the council and members of committees and persons representing the council such sums as may be reasonably be necessary to cover traveling and expenses while on the business of or representing council. We have loans to officers and employees for council, to provide loans for officers of the council to enable them to purchase motor vehicles for the performance of their duties. Then we have courses for councillors, members of committees and officers and employees to provide, operate, support, promote, participate in courses of instruction, seminars and lectures for the purpose of improving the ability of councillors, members of the committee, officers and employees to carry out their functions. Then we have congresses to incur expenditure in connection with the representation of the council at any congress or conference or any deputation appointed by the council or on which the council is represented. Subscriptions to associations, to pay subscription fees to associations established to protect the interest of local authorities or to render advice or service to local authorities. Then we have insurance, to insure either through the funds of the council or through underwriters against malosses, damages, risks, liabilities the council may incur. Then we have mementos, to present mementos to past councillors or members of the committees. Pama mementos tinenge tichingotarisa zvinhu zvinogona kuzosara zviri esaini yekuti mugore rakati takambenge tine council yakamira so or macommittees akamira so or macancelors akamira so. Inenge yango history inenge yakusara yakachengetwa pacouncil. Then coats of arms and seal, to adopt a coat of arms or a seal or both, which may be altered from time to time and determine the use thereof. Then we have the issue of monuments, statues, and the relics. That will be the end of governance program. Maybe you can react to it before I proceed. Hello? Hello?
Sorry, I was actually, I didn't realize I was muted. So I was talking.
Okay.
All right, sorry about that. So you know what I want to, or what I wanted you to do is to actually summarize those activities. Pick each, let me give you, for example, do we have a program on infrastructure development?
Yes.
Right. So, okay, let me go, for example, to WASH. I think we can maybe look at WASH. There are things that we actually do when we are referring to WASH. Things that relate to WASH. What are things that relate to WASH? Activities that relate to WASH, for instance. There are several activities that relate to WASH, and probably they come from different functions. Is it not so?
Yes.
So you will find that under WASH, there are activities like, for example, drilling bores, construction of public toilets, extending rural piped water systems. You know, these are things that, these are activities now that have been derived from the functions. So under each function, you then list down what is it that we must do in order to perform this function. Then you write down all the functions. So after writing all the functions now, for all the activities for all the functions, then you try to find out of these activities, which activities are closely related that we can, for example, if you appoint one single manager, that person can manage all those activities. I'm sure you realize that if we go, for example, to the governance, the one that you have been talking about, you will find that there are things that are critical to governance. For example, finance, human resources, all these things. So you will find that the activities that are connecting those functions is, for example, recruitment of people like you guys. So, it's an activity that must be done under governance. So we are now seeing, then also doing proper budgeting and all those things that you guys are learning to do. Proper budgeting, proper audit and finance, risk management, and all those things. Those are activities that must be done. But we will then see that risk management, recruitment, accounting, all those things, they are generally around the same functions. The town clerk's roles, the councillor's roles on governance, probably acting as the, I would say in the private sector, like the board members of the organization, something like that. So their what they are supposed to do will be the activities. So you are grouping, and then you see that, okay, we are supposed to, for example, have one, auditing and finance. We are supposed to have procurement. We are supposed to have what else in administration? Human resources. We are supposed to have the board, which is the council. We are supposed to have the town clerk's office doing its roles. So all these, what they actually do, these are the activities that they do in order to achieve the function prescribed in the Act. So now, you might see that all these activities, they cannot be mixed with WASH activities. So at the time you are organizing them together, that's when you realize that this is to go under governance, this is going under governance, this is going under governance. So you will find that all these activities can now be grouped together, and they are called governance and administration. So you then find also that under governance and administration, the same functions that we have been talking about, they can be subgrouped again. When they are now subgrouped, it means that you are now saying that these are more related. Out of those related, these three are more related and they can form a subprogram. And these ones are also more related, they can form another subprogram. I don't know whether I am making myself clear.
Yes, that's clear, Doc.
Yes, it's clear.
Yes, it's clear.
Yes. So what I would want you to do after this, I would ask you to go back again, because I really want you to polish this thing, because you guys, I want you to make us proud. Because if you actually master this thing, it is going to do a lot of good for you. So I want you to go back and you actually itemize activities per program. So when you have itemized, per function, you then try to group them without you going to the recommended program lists that have been provided by the ministry. You actually try to do it yourself and see if you can come close to what they came up with. Once you have achieved that, it means you are home and dry. So thank you very much. Is there anyone with a question on this one who needs clarity on what I am saying? Sorry, there is a huge noise here. Just let me.
Unogowera unoda kuvhura zvikwama zvevaridzi munenge muchitsvagei saka kana machichadonha machivhura
ndaichida kuona
kuonei
Miss Violet, can you please mute?
mechiti hamuna mari wani munayo
pakaipa tsvagai chingwa hamuna nzamawo.
Can you ask Mr. Shatei, can you mute here?
I'm trying to mute. Doc.
Let me see. Let me try from this side. Okay, sorry, there was some loud noise here.
It's done.
Some promotion. This side, there's some promotion that was ongoing. Is there anyone who wanted further explanation on this part? Please don't hesitate to ask, because this case study, your examination, what we will do, it's a very strange examination. We are going to give you probably a 5-page exam that you will have for 1 week at your home, and you practice it, then you come to write. We have found this method to be very helpful. I think professional bodies are now doing it. You will not, what you will not have are the questions. You will have the whole case study. Then you will be identifying things from the case study and making recommendations. So this is going to be something that is quite exciting. That's why I'm insisting that if you need clarity, please let me know. Being quiet, it means that everyone has understood. So is there any other?
Yeah, it's clear now. It's
right.
clear
Is
now.
there any other person who had presented it this way or the way I have explained?
Hello, Doc.
Yes, Mr. Katerere.
I need to read what I wrote.
Okay.
So on program identification, I identified programs. The first one is infrastructure development program. That one I included from the functions of the council, like on the establishment and maintenance of infrastructure, roads, schools, clinics. That's where I developed that program, infrastructure development program. So its main focus will be improve physical infrastructure to support economic and social development. Then the other program, it's a health and social services program. Its main focus would be to enhance access to quality health care and promote community well-being. Then,
okay, you can stop there so that we also hear from others. This time I want everyone to just identify a program. I want to see the differences. Please don't change your program. Just mention exactly as you have put it so that we see where the differences are. Because I am going to ask each one of us what were the key activities that led you to come up with that particular program.
okay, Doc.
Okay. I've also come up with the program, community service. They to providing community buildings and village halls, managing public building for meetings and assemblies, providing public conveniences and mortuaries. I don't know if it is applicable to the programs.
You know what we want, you don't have to worry, because what we want is for you to be able to actually know the process. We will advise you on the actual programs as they have been structured by the relevant ministries. But for now, we want just to know if you are able to follow the process of coming up with the program. So what I want you to come back again to me is that for you to coming up with your community services, what were the activities involved that you actually brought together, the activities that you brought together to come up with what you call social services. And then I'll also go back to Mr. Katerera to say, for infrastructure development and which activities did you merge to come up with infrastructure development? So let's start with Mr. Katerera first.
Okay, on infrastructure development program, I merged activities like road rehabilitation and construction, water supply projects, clinic and hospital renovations, school upgrade, and school development.
All right, I think I had a hiccup. Can you just come again? I'm sorry about that.
Okay, I was saying on infrastructure development program, I made the activities like road rehabilitation and construction, water supply projects, clinic and hospital renovations, school upgrade and development.
Okay, colleagues, there we are. Maybe before each and everyone comments, let's have the comment from Mr. Champuka to respond to, and then we have a presentation from Mr. Shirimani, one program. Then we also have Violet to present one program. So that we comment all of them at once. Mr. Champuka?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please proceed and tell us the activities that gave you the program on community services.
Okay. So the provision of building community buildings and community halls. managing public building for meetings and assemblies, providing public convenience and mortuaries.
Okay, thank you very much. Can we have Mr. Shiriman?
All right. Program 5, public safety and security services. Establishment of street lights, provision of ambulances and ambulance services, provision of fire brigade services. I think those are some of the activities that I listed under the public safety and security services.
Thank you, Violet. Any program? I think Violet is having problem with network, so let's for now just allow her to be on the sidelines. Mr. Shate, do you have any comments?
I don't have any comment, Doc.
All right, thank you. So, colleagues, I'm actually humbled by the way you have been able to pick this one. Although we are having varied program names, but one thing that I liked is the zeal to know that we need, for each program, we need to have a specific objective. And we cannot ignore that part. What is the purpose for us to have to focus on safety issues, right? The objective of that program must be very clear, right? Mr. Shiriman, you are the one who presented this one, right? We need clarity on why, in fact, what is the objective of this program? So that objective must be clearly stated, and you must have it on your fingertips as people who are going to be managing the finances of the council. So, yes, Violet, how are you? Violet?
Say.
Yeah.
Hello.
I can see you are having problem with network, so we are going to post the video for you.
Okay, say.
Okay, but you can be listening if you,
Thank you.
If you can hear us, you can be listening. So I don't know if Mr. Shiriman, you heard me clearly on that.
Yes, I heard you clear.
Yes. So did you actually come up with the objective?
Okay, for public safety and security services, the objective is to have enhanced the public safety and security services within council area.
Yeah, within your jurisdiction, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's the critical part. Although we are always advocating that councils should work together with other councils and also with government, with the central government in this role. But for purposes of coming up with the program, it should specifically indicate the objective as covering that particular jurisdiction. So I realized that the other guys had come up with their objectives, but there is something that I'm seeing. I think it's just the wording in the differences that are arising. There's a few, it appears there's someone who's trying to join, right? Let me see. Oh, yeah, it's okay. So I'm happy about the fact that you are able to come up with the objectives, but what I was saying that the program names don't appear to be uniform. Maybe it's because each council will then end up like merging certain things, just diverting a little bit from the recommended in terms of the actual objective name. But overall, we have something that looks almost the same. Then in terms of, I noticed Katerere had combined infrastructure development is combining quite a lot of things. Like he's bringing in some things that might fall maybe in social services, for example, clinics. In some other local authorities, maybe clinics would fall under social services. Then I think Mr. Katerere was putting it under what you call that? What's his program? Infrastructure development. And he was also putting roads, mixing roads and schools development and all that. So now these are the things that we need to discuss, agree, and harmonize and move forward. What do you think, colleagues, on the program of infrastructure development? Let's talk, colleagues. It's very important that we know whether a program is as it should be, or maybe we've got other areas, it's other councils that maybe have adopted their own ways of doing things. Can we share, exchange some notes? Maybe let's hear from Mr. Katerere first. Did you manage to carry out the research within your local authority and see if they actually have a program called infrastructure development?
Hello, Doc.
Yes.
Yeah, on there are some activities which are being carried out. For example, on school construction, Mudzi RDC has managed to construct a secondary school, which is a Goronga Secondary School. And it's one of the
sorry, Mr. Katerere. My question is,
yes.
Do you have a program called infrastructural development in your program, in your list of programs that you are using for budgeting?
Actually, it is under the roads and works.
So you have a program called roads and works.
Yes.
So you are saying that roads plus works being the construction of schools and clinics.
Yes.
Okay, fine, thanks. Let's now hear from our colleagues from different councils. Colleagues, how are you doing it in your councils?
Yes, I've mentioned the infrastructure. It is infrastructure together with the transportation, where there is maintaining of footpaths and bridleways, providing parking facilities, contributing to traffic calming measures, maintaining roads, and so forth.
Okay, and where have you put clinics? Construction of clinics and schools?
Clinics and schools.
Yes. All right, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry if you didn't cover that or if it's a bit far from you. Let's hear from Mr. Shirimani. What are you doing? How are you doing it in Gokwe?
Okay. We are using the PBB template or a policy that was developed by the government, which identified 6 programs in local authorities. And these 6 programs include number 1, governance and administration. Number 2, water sanitation and hygiene. Number 3, social services. Number 4, roads. Number 5, public safety and security services. Number 6, natural resources conservation and management. These are the 6 programs that we are using for budgeting under PBB.
All right, thank you, Mr. Shiriman. So let me be very frank on this one. I would like to be to be a little bit blunt on this one. I'm not sure whether the other councils, because Mr. Katerera, that's Mudzi RDC, then Mr. Champuka is Mutare City Council. So maybe to just make it a bit comfortable, let's request these colleagues of ours to go and research on what exactly, on whether there is a template that is being used in the councils and the program names they have. Now that we know the process of coming up with the programs, we are no longer worried. But I would like to agree with Mr. Shirimani on the template. Actually, allow me to stop sharing this one and share what Mr. Shirimani was talking about. Then I will revert back to this a little later. Actually, we don't need to go back to this. You've got the questions, right? So we will continue without the questions. So let me reshare. Where is it now? Yeah, okay, actually. Can you see?
Yes, Doc.
Hello?
We can see.
Right. So this is what Mr. Shirimani is. This is what Mr. Shirimani is referring to. So you can see he first talks about governance, and then we've got the main program, which is governance and administration, and its objective. Then the sub-programs, actually given. They are given. This is the template that Mr. Shirimani is talking about. But before so the next is WASH services, social services, although the names might not exactly be like he was reading them, but I think you can see that we are agreeing that there are six programs. And these 6 programs, even if you look at the various sub-programs, they will tell you exactly what activities are there in the sub-program, what is supposed to be done within the sub-program. So my request now is that colleagues need to go to their own local authorities and see if your management is applying this one. If they are not, it might be probably that they've made their own resolution, or they are actually behind, or someone is actually failing to do their job. I don't know. When you were given these templates, Mr. Shirimani, what were you told? Were you told to implement them as they are, or you were given leeway to adjust?
We were given them to implement as they are. We are in order to come up with a standard local authority budget.
Thank you very much.
There was no variation. It was a way of standardizing all local authorities.
Yes, and you know, that's why I was saying I need to be a little bit blunt, because if it's happening in any local authority that the template is not being applied, you know what the problem is going to be. When these budgets will then need to be consolidated and the ministers are responsible when they are asking people to evaluate budgets. Everyone is hoping that the figure you are reporting is made up of this A, B, C, D inside it. And then you then find that people have combined, for instance, clinic construction with road construction and say infrastructural development. But roads itself is a very big task. And we have an engineer who is doing roads. So we need to make an assessment of that engineer. I think you know the reason why we are doing program budgeting is to be able to do performance management to measure people, their actual outputs, to be able to measure. It's a performance measurement tool that we are going to be using. We are measuring you from your station, being an engineer, being a security person, to the last person who is the CEO of the local authority or urban council, to the town clerk, and everyone. So everyone has got roles that is right what they are supposed to perform, and the overall performance of that of the local authority. I hope this is very clear. Is there anyone with a question, contribution? Let's discuss this thing in the next 5 minutes. Your contributions, colleagues.
Okay, thank you, Doc. I think the other colleagues just need to check with their local authorities on which system they are using. Is it PBB or it's a different system that they are using? But I just hope that all local authorities are already on PBB. Maybe probably vanogona kunge vanyatsoziva kuti maprograms ari kushanda kulocal authority kwavo akamira sei. I think vakacheka vachatongoona itongori PBB. I don't think kuti kuchine council iri outside that, because mabudgets edu ari kuappruvwa pa akaimbotombo approvwa nationally panzvimbo imwe chete, template riri rimwe chete rinenge rashayiwa nationwide. Then currently akuitwa zvavo provincially, but template ratete tichishanda naro rinenge ringori rimwe chete, even if tiri kuapply ma different budgeting green ERPs, like kuti vamwe vanenge vachishandisa LADS, vamwe vanenge vachishandisa na Quandrix zvichienda zvakadaro, but the template remains the same rePBB ro.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Shirimani. Maybe my worry was that on the not necessarily to say they are not using PBB, but you know, we picked this out. We had a budget seminar with all universities, and then we picked out that some universities were not in unison in terms of activities, where to place them. So irregardless of the fact that there was a template, but the template now, when placing activities, there would be confusion. You'd find that one activity, for example, research and innovation, was falling in a different program. Research and innovation, and then teaching and learning and things like that would fall in different programs for different universities. And when we had this seminar, actually we had a long debate on how to unify these things. And so sometimes you might think that because the template itself, you will not be seeing it when the final budget is now being approved. We will just assume that these guys have got, for example, social services. So they will omit like clinics there. You see, this one says, let me go to social services. Right. For social services there, you can see there's a equipping of educational facilities, let me just go down. So sub-programs, construction of what? Educational facilities. So if, for instance, we have social, or Mr. Chayambuka said what? Community service, something like that. So they will have social services and then infrastructure development. And they will take issues of roads to infrastructure development and probably some social services and put them on infrastructure development from the way I picked. But it's probably true that it could probably be true that they didn't actually discover what their local authority is doing. And probably because I'm not sure about seniority in terms of their structures, whether they are even allowed to look at that, or they have someone to ask. You know, sometimes you guys seniors munoomesera vafana vakada kuuya vachibvunza vamunotokovadzinga mumaofisi. Saka hopefully Mr. Katerere, Mr. Chambuka, you'll be able to interrogate kana vakubvunzayo kuti zvinokubatsira ichi, you can be humble and just explain that ndiri kungodzidzawo program based budgeting, saka ndoda kuona programs dzatiri kuita sei, dzatiri kushandisa kuti dzakaita sei, handiti?
Yeah, for sure, Doc, we should inquire that because tarisati tatombonyatsoziva kuti ndo zviripo.
Handiti ka. So zvakanaka izvozvo zvinotifadza. I think for those vakasangana nazvo, we are actually enhancing. Then for you vanenge vasati vambosangana nazvo, you are getting to know the concept. So what is our time now? We are only 20 minutes away from 4 p.m. So let's try to just rush to answer see how you answered the other questions. Let me try to open. So I'm going to stop sharing this one. Stop sharing and try to open the question. The next question, is there anyone? Yeah, I found it. So let me go back to Zoom and share it. All right. So tell us about the data required. I think Mr. Katerere represented number 3. So who is going to present number 4? Number 4, please.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, sir.
Okay, number
Hello?
4. Should I proceed?
Yes, proceed.
Okay, number 4 reads as follows. Budget information needs. For each program, state the types of data and information needed to prepare a complete program budget. For example, asset inventories, service standards, population saved, unit costs, human resources needs, funding sources. So the way I presented it, and now we present a program by program, but now we present a one size fits all. I'm not sure if my interpretation was okay on this one, but in the data that is needed here or information needed here, include all the revenue lines or revenue sources and their categorization. For example, kana tiri kuma councils tine ma revenue sources anocategorizwa under ma property taxes akaita sema assessment rates. So tinozoitawo zvakare akaita anocategorizwa ari under ma fees, licenses nema permits. Tozoita mamwe anocategorizwa under ma grants, mamwe grants acho achinzi current grants, mamwe achinzi capital grants. Saka tikawana all the revenues, all the revenue sources and their categorization. It's one of the data ratinoda or information ratinoda. Then we also have all the and their categorization into current, recurrent, and capital expenditure. For example, compensation of employees falls under recurrent expenditure. Saka tikutarisa kuti council yedu imbori nema expenditure lines api uye anocategorizwa into which categories between the two, the recurrent expenditure anenge ari ema short term, ma routine, ma administrative,
right.
capital
Mr. Silman, can I
expenditure.
ask you? Right. I think you are in the
Yes.
right direction. So now, what I want to know from you, which I think colleagues here would want to know, unless they've done it well, I don't know whether you also have done it that way. Let's take, for instance, you are talking about salaries being recurrent expenditure. Then we have our 6 programs. And we have salary for human resources manager, for instance. Then we have a salary for a wash manager.
Yes.
We have a salary for
Yes.
a roads engineer and our chief security officer.
Yes.
How are these salaries?
Yes.
How are these salaries handled? These different salaries, how are they handled in the program based budgeting?
Okay, from this side, what we do, from the interpretation of program-based budgeting,
Yes.
each program should have its own revenue and its own expenditures. So each and every program generate a revenue to fund its programs, its activities throughout the budgeting year. Saka my salaries iwayo, they are spread across my departments, because department rega rikufana ku generate its own revenue inomita my salary ayo, inomita my recurrent expenditures ayo, inomita the capital expenditure yayo. Then kana kuti maybe that program yazoita a shortfall, panogona kuzenge pane cross subsidization yekuti kune income yakawanda kunogona kuzenge kuchinoita cover that gap kuti budget redu richinobalanza. But from the way we treat it, each program should generate revenue it is sufficient to cover its expenses.
Right, thank you very much. That's the clarity I wanted for all of us. I don't know, Mr. Chambuka, are you aware of this, that your salary, because you are in the security services, so it means that for you, since you are in the security services, we are talking about public safety as your program, the program that you fall under. So it means that your salary must be recognized for purposes of budgeting in the specific program that you are in. Were you aware of that?
No, I wasn't aware of that one.
Yes, so even on measuring performance, because this is a performance measurement system that is being carried out by the Republic. So you can see that everything that we are doing now in Zimbabwe, we have tools now to measure practically the performance of individuals, the performance of MDAs. For MDAs, for those who might forget, it's ministry, departments, and agencies. And whilst there's no clear cut of saying that an RDC falls where, but it is called an MDA. So which might actually be an agent, because the main law is the constitution of the country, so which empowers the state, which is the central government, and so the local the local authority is an agent for local for central government in order to make its activities actually be run at a localized level. So you are also an MDA. So I think that's what I wanted to say. And now, I think this was clear from Mr. Shirimani. Let's go to the next part, which is key performance indicators. Key performance indicators. We're going to present that. Just present what you have. So let's see, I'll ask Mr. Gacherere this time. Did you do performance indicators?
Yes, Doc.
Yes, just briefly, because we are all left with just 12 minutes to.
Okay, so on, I'm not so sure. Can I continue using the programs I had?
It doesn't matter the programs that you carried out. We said it's okay. We are using those ones because you actually derived them. There is nothing wrong with what you did, because what you did is simply trying to use the methodology, and you came up with your own program, which you might actually have reasons to justify. But what we are simply saying is that there's a template that has been provided by our local government ministry together with the Ministry of Finance. You understand?
Okay.
Yes. So use that one. But we're saying that after this, you must go to council and find out what template are they using, so that you actually master the actual template. In case you are invited for an interview for a higher post, then you need to make sure that you hit the nail on the head.
Okay, Doc. So on infrastructure development, there's a key performance indicator. For example, when constructing roads, we might need to know the kilometers of roads which has been made. Then we also measure in percentage the capital projects which have been made. Then we also have health and social services. We might also need the immunization coverage rate among the target age groups in percentage. Then in education and human capital development, we might need to know the student to teacher ratio in public schools. Then under agriculture and natural resources, we might need to know hectares under improved farming practices. We also need to know the yield per hectare for the crops being grown. Then on governance and administration, we might need to know the time taken to process public services requests. It might be in days. Then also citizen satisfaction score with government services, which is also the survey index. That's what I wrote.
Okay, thank you very much. This one is asking me to prompt Mr. Shirimani, who has been using this, to respond to my question. Out of interest, do you do these things, Mr. Shirimani, and do you actually measure them?
Okay, thank you very much.
Did you hear my question, Mr. Shirimani?
On key performance indicators.
Yes, I said, I want you to answer the actual question that I'm asking. Do you do these things?
Yes,
and you actually measure them?
in terms of measurement, some of the items we have been measuring, but some of the items paishanda ma estimate.
Okay. You know why I'm asking you? Do you know why I'm asking you? There is a general tendency of people to just report figures. That's why my question at the colonies, if you were looking at the video, I was actually putting the question in what do you call this? The two small things at the end, the colonies, right?
Right. It's two-sided. Pane imwe challenge inenge iripo like kana takatarisa ma key performance indicators anditi inenge iri issue ye resource availability. Key performance indicator tinayo yekuti tikuda kuona isusu the client satisfaction level with my council services, but then when it comes now measurement, council yobva yaleka ma resources ekuti ikwanise kuita maybe a district wide survey that level. Saka at the end of the day pane mamwe anozo estimatewa, but mamwe acho they are actually measured, like yawambotaura ye road construction here, road definitely inenge chitomeasurwa kuti yagadzirwa ani. Then tikatarisa nyaya ye teacher to student ratio, definitely information iyoyo tinenge tinayo from Zimstat, from our education ministry, as our social services department vanenge vachigather that information. Saka zvimwe zvachona zvinenge zviri very objective, but zvimwe zvachona zvinozova a bit subjective because zvinenge zvane ma-estimations.
Thank you very much, because you know why I'm asking that. I remember I told you that I'm also a panelist on the budget approval process for local government. So we have met some very outrageous performance indicators, and then you would wonder whether this truly exists in the council. When, for instance, if Harare City Council claims satisfaction on the collection of what you call garbage, right? And then you wonder where they actually went to collect data, you know? So basically, I really liked your response, because it's a genuine response. And sometimes people end up doing things to satisfy their document. This is because you, as a finance person and administrator, you have the skill to come up with a very sound document, very attractive document. And once you do that, when it comes to us, we will say, this council did very well, they presented well, they have achieved their key performance indicators. But this is where now the issues of outcomes and impacts come in. To say, if you really say you did this, we should see impact. And the impact is pronounced in reality. So I think that's all I can say on this part, but thank you very much for your genuine response. Let's say, I think the last one is a general question, so we don't want to dwell much on that. Let's maybe stop there. We have 4 minutes to 4 p.m. You guys want to do some other things. I also need to drive to Bindura from Harare. So I'm grateful. Today, it's been a very fruitful day, which I think if going into the future, if we are able to do something like this, I think we can still do it without people moving up and down until maybe we get to the numbers, because we wanted to do the numbers and we're hoping that the numbers, that's when you request people to come over. But now, because some people are continuously having problems, we've got 3 people who always have problems with network. So we might end up asking you, like we've already requested, that you come over to Harare. I don't know if it is something that is sound for the three of you guys who are in the meet, for the three of you who are from a far distance. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, that would be a challenge for us.
Mr. Shirimani and Mr. Katene.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, I asked you the question.
On each of the lectures.
Yes, I'm asking